Hello, well, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the ETF2L Season 34, powered by the community. My name's Wandum. It's a Week 2 matchup, actually, not a Week 3 matchup, between Ascent, which used to be Faint, but now is Ascent, versus the Sauna Slayers that used to be Ascent. We're probably going to get a bit confused. I'm joined today by the one and only Eames.
Hello, Wandum, and don't forget our lovely co-production man, which is ArchRhythm. But that's fine. Please be cussing this game. I think I'll probably get mixed up just like you, but should be a pretty good one. What are you thinking about this?
I mean, honestly, on paper, you'd expect Ascent to be the very heavy favorites going into this map. I think if this match happened later in the season, towards the end, probably be a lot closer. If you just look on paper, the players out of the two teams are probably maybe similar in quality or in caliber, but it's just like Ascent have been around together now as a roster for, at this point, over a year. Most of them played at I-63 together as well, and they've been together for such a long time. The fall of 7 it's left a power vacuum in Europe right now, and it's just out of the top three teams we had the past few seasons, it's only Faint left, or Ascent, sorry,
Yeah,
that are left, and
it's
I think they should just roll this game. To be completely honest,
we're definitely a team with a lot longer established legacy. Although none of the players, other than potentially Sprite, who is obviously the newbie to Prem on not Ascent but Sauna Slayers. Ascent have. Well, both teams have players other than Sprite. Everyone on that team is it's a veteran of Prem, I would say. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how they match up against each other. Although, talking about that, normally we'd have Lucas on Ascent.EU, but now he's not here tonight, so they have their sub, which is Joe or Garbage, which could make things pretty interesting, I think.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Ascent is known for playing heavily around Lukash. He's a very big part of how they're able to do what they do. Obviously, he was named the MVP of Copenhagen Games like this Easter. He also won the award for Best Player of the Season last season as well. It's absolute tank, as his name would suggest. But yeah, I mean, Joe, isn't this his Prem debut?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he's probably looking to make quite a splash for himself today. He has big shoes to fill in, arguably like almost the biggest shoes possible to fill in.
He definitely does, although I think, in actual fact, the way that Ascent are set up is often, because they use Lucas's, high DM ability in such a way that they actually set up to really make a lot of space for the demo anyway, and I know that Joe definitely does have at least good DM, and so it should actually be fairly easy for him to fit into that role. He has practiced with him a few times anyway, so I'm expecting him to actually not look quite as like a duck out of water as he might have been otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, a big part of Ascent, obviously, is just Pappy and his ability to main call. I did an interview with Seeds ages ago that I've never bothered to type up, which I really should do at some point, where he says already, like, as soon as this roster formed, essentially, it's a couple of weeks before the season before LAN last year started, where he says that Pappy's the best main caller he's ever played with. Considering the fact that Seeds did play for 7, this is extremely high praise, and I think a lot of the strength that the Ascent have does come out of this sort of very heavy main calling style from Pappy. He's very good at both motivating the team and also just leading the team in general. The calls that he provides like extremely good soldier combination or solid like synchronization between him and Gink, and yeah, I think it definitely, at least today, will outdo AMS and Polygon on the enemy side.
I think in particular on these Gullywash mids, the Pappy and Gink combo is often super devastating because they just know exactly what each other are doing all the time. They're good friends, they play together for a very long time. So they're, Gullywash is really a mid where if your soldiers are playing well, it can be absolutely devastating. And just to top that off, they'll be super aggressive in this kind of thing. And then, as is generally their style, they will be trying to make a lot of space for their demo man Garbage, his other alias is Garbage, but we'll be calling him Joe, even though he's tagged up as GGGGG. So, that's fantastic. But I'll be calling him Joe, not Garbage. Anyway, they have very good Gullywash mids.
Yes, Obviously, Gullywash middle is extremely centered around this soldier bomb, especially in the modern era, where everything pretty much always bottles down to a double solid bomb. But it does seem both teams are readied up now, except for Classy just unreadying and then readying again. So I think we're actually going live now. This is, of course, ETF2L week 2, season 34, Ascent versus Sauna Slayers. First mid coming up as we see both teams rolling out into mid. Garbage, Joe, he's just spamming big door, as per usual. Smear trying to do the same thing. And yeah, Ams is actually going in extremely aggressively here with Polygon as well, but they don't really find anything. They just find Thomas and another scout, but they do actually manage to find so many kills. Genki's on, he hits a massive air shot there onto Sprite, completely destroying him, salvaging the mid totally and completely for Sauna Slayers. Ams is so far forward, he tries to find a pick onto Seeds, but they may have lost the mid, but Seeds is still alive. Of course he is, because it's Seed. They now have a 75% Uber ad and just ready to push out into second. Maybe even the mid fight here. His Smear is so far forward, he's gonna get picked off by the scout.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a pretty strong mid for Sauna there, to be honest. Didn't really with a huge salvage play onto Sprite. If he hadn't gotten that, that could have been actually in a round for Sauna because they had a much better mid in general. But yeah, Gink salvaging very well, and now they are looking to head into mid here with a decent advantage. Smear's already dead, so it's actually extremely free. Kind of a bad feed by Smear to die there. Coming through, Am's going to pop onto them. There's a really super nice milk. Seeds actually just taking the opportunity to just wander back into his choke, take absolutely zero damage from that. So it's a nice milk, and they do actually have an advantage going into second here, although it's only a small one.
Yes, Seeds is just showing us why he's probably the best medic in Europe right now. Sometimes you look at him, he just never dies, and they're actually walking into choke now because of this milking. It's taking them so long. It's actually even Uber's here as Am's just taking Uber forwards. He's just trying to do some damage, but right now he's just not really finding the kills. Classy finally goes down, but Am's dropping dangerously low as Pappy finds the kill. Canoe, he's trying to do something, but yeah, it just looks like Ascent, they're not finding the position after Super, and Joe might even get caught out here, as he's just stuck between a rock and a hard place, and 4 members, actually 5 from the Sauna Slayers, they're gonna look to push into mid here off this. Quite honestly, not that good of an Uber pop. Uber trade.
It was looking pretty good for them, but Classy somehow got dropped to a stray pipe from Smear, which is pretty unfortunate for him. And then Joe seemed to want to commit to the fight, but it was evidently not going too well, so he kind of just got caught in with his pants down. And now Sauna should be able to make some kind of push happen here, although the Appy is holding very close on this choke and getting some good actual early damage. So there was a chance for Sauna to get in there with the demo pick, but now Joe is actually back up, so it's going to be a lot harder for them to do that.
Yeah, it's just right now we're almost in the Gullywash stalemate as Tomash actually just walks in through choke and finds a kill onto Polygon. He does end up trading with Canoe almost immediately, and now it's just we're probably maybe looking at a sniper play right now. Canoe is already walking back maybe a little bit, might be on the sniper already. As yeah, Tomas he's spotting, not on the sniper. No, okay, it's just two teams both with Uber charge. Not really anything's gonna happen anytime soon, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. No snipers here yet. Kind of an odd play by Thomas to go for the sack there. Not really, you don't really normally see your pocket scout going for that kind of play, but just seeing what he could get going through choke, seeing that Smid didn't have it stickied. As we do see the classic demo man holding big door here. Sauna trying to take some good space into big door, but really pretty well denied by Gio, who did have stickies already up, as it's kind of the meta nowadays. But they haven't really traded through choke. This is going to be a much worse Uber for them. It's going to be tough for Sauna here. Actually, they do just about manage to get Sprite out.
Yeah, it's very, very, very hard to sort of do anything if you're in the position of Sauna Slayers right now. That Uber is pretty much the only thing you can realistically do besides just sacking a Sojourn, which is effectively was what ended up happening anyways, is just Polygon going down towards the end of the fight there. Just got caught out trying to go behind, and now Ginky's actually jumping in onto mid fight, onto the mid, sorry. He's creating a lot of space, but Spear finds some huge kills with his traps there, and Ascent, they're just not ready to fight this anymore after this, and yeah, the Sauna Slayers, they're taking second for free here off these 2 kills. Yeah, Ascent just want nothing to do with this.
So you can see the decision making from Ascent there. Big door was very, very free for them to get in, so they took that space gladly, but the reason that it was free is that Smear was holding so close to choke. He had that nice sticky trap and he picks up 2, which is pretty unlucky. He should, in theory, only ever get 1 kill with that at the most, but yeah, they both peaked at the same time, both went down. So Ascent, honestly, I feel like they're looking a little bit shaky here compared to how I would normally expect them to play, because they should know in their hearts they're the better team, but obviously they don't have the demo man, they haven't been scoring very much, and you know, they're looking a little bit more passive than I would generally expect them to be on this kind of map against a team that, I mean, they're good, but you know, they should realistically be beating them if you know, if all goes to plan and they're able to do the kind of aggression that they're known for. But they're kind of looking a little bit scared right now.
Yeah, right now we are just seeing what at this point has become the just completely standard Gullywash last hold, the Sentry and the Pyro. It's so hard as a soldier to sack in onto Seeds right here. It's made even harder by the fact that it is Seeds we're talking about, and he just, again, he doesn't die. This man is just insane. Scruff and Polygon, they're playing through the river side, maybe trying to peek a little bit, trying to find something, but Scruff is dropping dangerously low there to the soldier, just manages to find a couple of rockets. Polygon, he's actually on the buff banner, and he finds a kill onto Pappy somehow. And now Ginky's half HP as well. The Sentry's getting spammed very effectively by Polygon, actually. Building up his battalion's backup right now, trying to maybe find a better like post-super situation after an eventual trade. So they actually find the Sentry gun kill here. Polygon, he's just getting so many free logs right now off of spamming this Pyro.
And they do actually trade Uwers in here. Kind of an interesting decision. They could have actually tried to go for a force there, but Smear will actually be getting caught. It stays way over his welcome there. And what could have been a nice scenario with the Sentry down and Scruff under point actually turns into something pretty horrible with them going for a very unorthodox trade. I don't really know why they would do that. They should always be going for the force there, but Sauna kind of throwing away that potential advantage.
Yeah, and now Ascent, they're trying to push up through top, but Thomas and Pappy, again, just end up dying, as well as Classy actually, just getting completely demolished by the combo of Sauna Slayers. Now 4 members moving through river right now. I'm just trying to check this forward. They still probably do have a banner from Polygon, actually, as Scruffy's moving on behind the point. It's just Gink on the point right now. He's trying to hold this. It's a nice rubber onto Scruff. It might just be enough. Scruff actually ends up going down, but so does Pappy. Canute's just on the point. It's a heavy, but he's just not there in time. One round up for Sauna Slayers.
Pretty scrappy push out there from Ascent. They got kind of, I didn't think they expected the soldiers to be so close, but they only had 1 pick, so it's kind of risky for them to be so aggressive in river, and they just get pretty punished for it. Almost could have held that with some nice arrows from Seeds into the demo, but yeah, Kunu coming in under is kind of just checkmate, so somewhat unexpected 1-0 lead for Sauna here, and Ascent really need to start getting their aggression going if they're going to want to get back into this game.
Yeah, we'll see right now as we are onto the second mid fight of the game. Classy immediately finds a pick onto Smear here, and Pappy and Gink, they're so far forwards. It's only Kunu and Sprite left alive. They're walking into the lobby, but Classy and Gink, actually Pappy, sorry, they're already here. Classy is just trying to take this 1v1 with Kunu, even though he has every heal in the game. Kunu, very known for playing this sort of very heavy Valash-esque pocket scout style, but it just, right now, it doesn't seem to be enough, as there's so much of an advantage there. Very quick mid out of Ascent.
Yeah, and the main decisive factor that mid really was Clutch coming all the way in through elbow. Smear didn't even see him, and he just came up behind him and 2-shot him. It's really not something you expect to see, but Smear getting a bit too cocky into Big Dog, trying to get so much damage, and just getting absolutely destroyed by Classy. So we do see almost a nice force place from Gink onto Sprite there, taking the opportunity as they were 1 down. So the little effort of sort of to try and pressure and poke out blast is going to be denied, and we do see Ascent in the dominant position now in the second round.
Yeah, Kunu is up on the sniper. He's going to try to find some sort of pick that maybe they'll be able to use to their advantage. Gink is already up. Doesn't elect to go sniper himself. We know he is capable of that, but Kunu, just as always, he checks to see, because the threat of a Gink sniper is very, very real. Especially on this last push here, or on this last hold right now, where we do know Gink is a very, very effective sniper. He is on the soldier. And now he's just, Kunu, he's sniping, trying to maybe find a pick, but considering the angle he's holding right now compared to the positions of the enemy team, he won't really find anything. Gink actually jumping into water already. I don't actually think Sauna Slayer saw him. They're just Kunu's trying to take pot shots at Pappy here, but Gink's finally been spotted out. He's just Polygon trading. Gink actually misses a few rockets there, and Pappy goes down to Kunu as well. It's 2 players down for Ascent.
Yeah, it was a nice surf by Sprite, just evade Gink there. Only had a few rockets left to try and get the flag, but he was actually pretty well done to stay alive in that. We do see it's 3v6 right now, going to be kind of a difficult fight, but Sprite drops Sticky's in lobby! Oh my god, that's an absolute throw. And Ams is behind now, but this is an absolute tragedy for Sauna Slayers. I don't even know how that happened.
Ascent just have to do everything in their power right now to just try and find these picks as quickly as possible. There were multiple players behind, and they've just managed to delay enough that Smear and Spire are actually up again. They're down both scouts, and Ascent are probably going to push this anyway, but Ams right now, he's just staying alive somehow there. Went all the way behind and he just didn't die. But now Ascent, they're pushing forward. There's actually a scout all the way into lower, and Joe hits a nice pipe onto Ams. He's not actually going down, and Classy ends up going down as well. Joe is dead. There's just a Gink, actually a Pappy on the point. They're not dead. They've only found about half the cap as Thomas. He ends up getting picked off as well.
Yeah, I mean, there, I think Ascent just, like, they saw the drop and they thought, okay, we've got this round in the bag, and probably their comms went a bit out the window, they got a bit overexcited, and just kind of got super hard punished for that, because they didn't really push into loss very cleanly at all. They had players under trying to play point, and other players trying to, like, fight on top, and they didn't really, just a very unclean push, very messy. We do see a tiny ad here for Seeds, they could try and make something happen off that, but no, they're just gonna settle in for a reset, and I expect we'll be seeing some kind of pressure towards Big Door, though maybe, and then we're gonna see them try and trade through choke here with Thomas.
Yeah, Sprite actually does tank a single shot there before popping off the Uber, but now it's just completely even again. Ams just dropped dangerously low, but he doesn't actually end up going down. And now Uber's situation's been completely reset. No picks coming in either. Pappy's actually moving forwards into choke again. Might actually just try and make something happen, but no, he's just trying to make sure that the enemy demo man of Smear just doesn't come in as he spots exactly the enemy team just doing exactly what they should be doing, just building an Uber with a scout on the rock.
Yeah, and we do see Joe giving it a little bit of pressure in choke here. But, oh man, that is actually an opportunity for Pappy to come and go for the sack. Sprite, super nice positioning, playing on the height there, knows some kind of thing is going to be coming in, completely ready for it, so that's nicely played by him. Opportunity maybe now for Sauna to do something, but really they're in the lead now, they don't want to take too many risks. They're actually going to sack Ams in through drop down. He hasn't been seen yet, so he can get onto Seeds, but he's actually not going to hit. He can hit one rocket, but it's a pretty easy milk for Seeds there in the end. And yeah, we're just back to a reset.
Yeah, unluckily for them, they just... Ams almost tries to hit rockets on the Seeds there, but again, he's just wiggled himself up forward. The Uber's actually popped out from Ascent hit very early. Sprite just hasn't used his yet. He finally popped it. Now Thomas is stuck all the way behind as he does end up getting picked. But King, he's found his way into River. He's fighting Polygon right now. He's actually dropped dangerously low. Ams is trying to jump in as well, trying to help out his teammate here. King finally gets taken out. The help from Scruff, and now Sauna Slayers, my bad, they're gonna look at choke here, maybe trying to push in off these two soldier off the soldier and a scout pick here.
And this is all down to Garbage here, oh sorry Joe, to hold this choke, to try and lock out these 5 players that could be coming in onto him. Nothing's actually going to come in through drop down, so they've got 2 players pressuring Big Don now, and they are actually through. Joe taking some good damage, but oh, and Pappy is actually going to die in choke, so this does open things up, particularly as Joe's low on ammo now, but Sauna might not elect to take this risk because they don't really need to, once again.
Yeah, Pappy going down there might end up with an enemy soldier, a blue soldier, going for a sack, but we do see Polygon, he's still on the banner, he's actually taking out, they're going to pop the banner through choke right now. Ubers, they're not quite ready yet on either team, but he's holding far enough back already. He has the Uber. Scruff is sitting in the big door right now, trying to spam this out. Ubers are popped through the choke, my bad. Gink ends up going down and trading with Ams there. And now it's just Kunu trying to help his team, lead his team out alive. As the banner's still up actually. And Ascent, they're not willing to push it.
This is honestly really depressing to see because that was a really soft pop from Seed. One of his sollies was weak, there was really nothing to chase, and they just popped off basically nothing. Polygon will actually get in behind, he's just going to leave because he does finally get spotted by a scout. But really, Seeds could so easily have just milked that, and they could have just walked out choke a little bit more because there's really no reason to chase with the Uber, so they could have basically had a full ad. But maybe a little bit of nerves there, maybe Seeds being a little bit out of practice, he hasn't been playing so much at the moment, I think he's working a lot. But you know, kind of unfortunate to see that missed opportunity for Ascent there, as they still need to make up rounds in this game.
Yeah, and we do see even Ubers again. We're gonna wait for the next round of probable soldier sacks as Polygon, he's just sitting in Big Door right now, holding behind the mic line, as I like to call it. Legendary Seagull demo review veterans will know what I'm talking about, as he's just sitting behind the line on Big Door, just fending off Gink with spam rockets and not really being like spammable himself. People, they're just standing in choke, and it's just Pappy, he's trying to move forwards there. He does find a quick little rocket onto the scout, but it's so quiet. We have to be quiet right now. It's a funny little stalemate.
It is indeed. I mean, it looks kind of like Ascent are a little bit out of ideas here. It's actually Storner making the plays off, you know, the banner and the pick, but they're just exchanging spamming mid door, but they didn't really have any objective to that, to be honest, from what I can see. So yeah, Ascent kind of need to come up with a bit of a plan here, but at the moment they're just wandering around, maybe discussing what their next move is, but yeah, not too much going on at the moment. As they do actually finally elect to take Big Dots, so, and they will send Classy behind, so that is probably the play they should have been trying to make before. I don't know if Polygon actually saw Classy, I think he does know, but Classy in a position now to try and make something happen, potentially.
Yeah, Yeah, right now he's just doing his best to try and find some opening, but Polygon, he's just sitting there. Scruff has actually tried to check through River, he doesn't find anything. Classy, he's just sitting behind right now, waiting to spring this trap. He might actually need a further distraction play out of Ascent to be able to do realistically anything. Polygon and Scruff, they're just sitting in lobby. Classy is just gonna back out again. Realizes that he has been spotted out. The play probably wouldn't be very successful. Now Ascent, they're actually moving forwards into Big Door here. Siege jumping quite low, and but nothing really is coming out of it. Polygon, he just spams them out completely. Soldier in this choke point is very, very powerful.
I'm not entirely sure what that was, really. I mean, they had Classy in a decent position to do something. Even if they know that he's there, if they're so distracted, they can maybe send another sack. But, you know, that was a chance to get something done, and Classy just comes back. So they're not looking to risk too much here. You know, they could potentially just play for another round reset. They had pretty decent mid last mid with that flank from Classy onto Smear. Actually, they do finally get Polygon now, who does actually drop his banner if he had it. So actually, there's a lot of room now for Ascent to try and get in, and Pappy is swimming from choke. Sprite is pretty weak here, could quite easily get forced.
Gink actually managing to weasel his way all the way into last as well. They found that pick onto Polygon. The Ubers are traded off here, but no further kills are really happening. It's just 1-1 down with Gink behind, and he's not really able to do that much right now. As yeah, he's just 20 HP. 3 HP now in the enemy river, just gets picked off by Ams and the other soldier there, not really being able to do anything. And these 2 kills for the Sauna Slayers, they're actually looking to push in. Happy dropping dangerously low to the scout spot, does get arrowed by Seeds, and Thomas manages to find the 2-shot onto Kunu. He's in, but so is the rest of his team. Ammon's dropping extremely low there, but Scruffy manages to find the pick onto Garbage right now. Polygon, he's so low in his big door. He finally gets arrowed here. It's a huge rocket though onto Thomas there. Thomas actually not dying. Classy, he's sitting in the enemy big door. He's behind right now. He's gonna try to do something. Gink, he finds the kill onto Scruff. 2 players down for Sauna right now. Do Ascent finally make the push up into second? It looks like they are. Gink is actually already into lobby, forcing them actually into top lobby right now. Kunu, he's in river, but he just has to back out here. Ascent, they finally managed to crack the first nut and actually get into second, but now they have to find the even more impenetrable one. Kunu, he's on sniper now, and they have to somehow try to push into last here.
Yeah, definitely. And just going back to that fight on mid there, I mean, so the Ascent were 2 down, in fact. They did like to hold very close at choke. Seeds actually obviously played pretty far back, as he's known to do, so that he wouldn't get forced. But he was playing so far back, but he still managed to hit like 2 or 3 arrows on his players in choke, even though they were holding close, essentially with no heals. Got heals, and they didn't die, and managed to lock the Sauna out so well. You know, they were 4v6. That was just really a clutch play by Seeds. So nicely done by him to help them defend that, as they do take second pretty cleanly. Sack 2 into last, get 1. And it's just going to be a bit of a reset here. I don't expect Sauna to do too much now. They can just chill if they want to. It's, you know, it's a slender lead. They don't want to, you know, completely settle in. You know, they'll take opportunities if they can get them to push out, but they shouldn't be too risky here, I think.
Kunu finds the nice headshot there onto Thomas. He's moving forwards into river now. Actually gets a shot onto Seeds, only hits him for about half of his HP. But he's again, the Uber's actually forced out of Seeds here. This is really good for the side of Sauna Slayers. Their Uber still hasn't been popped out. Sprite's still 100% Uber, sitting so far back into river. Pappy's going down as well. Classy, he's sitting in lower. Ams drops a nice little LOL in chat in his Pappy death. And now, yeah, Sauna Slayers, they find a full Uber. King accidentally bumps into Ams while trying to jump in onto them. Classy's going down, and this is probably looking like a mid push here for Sauna Slayers.
Yeah, definitely. Classy trying to go for the back cap there, but completely denied by Polygon. He almost had a perfect timing to get behind, but he just chose the wrong door. Could have actually gone lower main behind Smeary. But yeah, it's 65% hit for Ascent on mid. Should be able to delay to get this potentially if they're going to be... Actually, it looks like Sauna aren't going to push, so probably wise decision. They don't know actually how much ad they have. They might have had slightly less than that. So Sauna just going to elect to chill here, and we are just about at the time where even if we get to a round reset, there'll probably be no chance for Ascent to take a mid and win, so Sauna really can just start chilling now as Ascent trying to pick up the tempo and take a trade in here with Thomas through Big Door.
Yeah, not really much of anything actually going to happen from this Uber trade. We do see a soldier out of Ascent trying to go forward to the choke, but just gets completely locked out by the soldier on the high ground. Now Ams, he's just sitting on top of choke right now. Classy ends up going down behind again in lobby, loses the 1v1 to Polygon. Polygon only 50 HP, but it's just not enough. Ams, he's trying to jump forward to the choke here. Not much really going on. It's just, it's a nice little stalemate. Sauna Slayer is doing a very good job actually of holding off this aggression from Ascent, and Joey's just going to sticky up choke again. I think they're just looking for another possible mistake out of Sauna Slayers. Might not be the greatest of ideas if they want to come back into this game.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, there is a 10% ad here. It was about 10, now it's gone down to like 8, so they can't really push off this, even if they knew that it existed. But, you know, some potentially could have built super hard and gone off that there, but I know, I feel like, to be honest, there haven't been too many decisive fights that have affected this game. Obviously, just the first mid was basically the whole game here. But in most of the Uber trades that have happened that have been, you know, somewhat decisive, we've seen Ascent just losing players, 1 or 2 players every time. Often, I think Classy was trying to go for a play behind and he died. It's pretty unfortunate. We do see Gink coming in here for a little sack here. Oh! Oh my god! Okay, Sprite pops the full damage.
Lives? No way! He does
that was
Uber, but that was absolutely crazy rocket there from Gink. Massive air shot there. Might actually have won them the round. It's a full Uber charge advantage for Ascent right now. They take second absolutely for free. This may be the golden ticket. The one opportunity they have is a massive play out of Gink there.
Yeah, that was almost an absolute heartbreaker for Gink if Sprite had managed to surf the high ground. They did have to pop nothing to the low ground as he did, so really huge air shot for that from Gink, and this is now a huge opportunity for Ascent. They need to take this Uber and get back into this game right away.
Yeah, Gink, he's actually spawning on the sniper here. Not really sure if I agree with this play, but he is going to try to make it work. He's sniping from balcony, actually. It's very weird. He does spot out the sentry, but this Uber charge, they have to move quick if they want this to actually be an Uber charge add push. Pappy, he's sitting so far forwards in the shadows right now, but Gink, he's trying to make space. I'm not actually sure what the sniper is trying to accomplish right now. What's happening? Did they not know that he popped?
This is an absolutely heinous delay and waste of their Uber hit. Don't know what... I mean, Ascent had a huge advantage there they could have gone with, and Seeds normally knows exactly how great the advantage is. Maybe they didn't know that Sprite popped, but surely Gink must have known that if he fell to the low ground and took 140 or so damage, then he must have popped or he would have died. But somehow, Ascent either don't know or don't think the ad is as big, and they don't push off that, which was basically the biggest opportunity they would have all game. So that's, I don't know, that's completely mystifying to me, to be honest.
I think the only explanation is that Gink assumed that Sprite lived 2 HP off of that drop, and he didn't actually see him pop. Polygon's find another kill onto Classy right now. They massive blunder there. They could have won the round off that. Oh, they must have their heads in their hands when they see this afterwards. They do. Pappy somehow he manages to find a kill onto Smear. Maybe this might actually end up being positive for them after all. This demo pick is absolutely massive when you're trying to push into last. It's probably at this point, this is the best you're gonna get. It's Gink. He's actually sacking in right now. Doesn't even find the kill onto Scruff. They're not taking as much space as you maybe would like him to. Classy is just on the spy. This is actually a bit frustrating to watch right now from a caster perspective.
Yeah, I mean, they had the demo pick. There's so many opportunities to plays to make in that scenario, but one of the main ones that you always want to see is having a scout trying to play point, right? Because if there's no demo to sticky point when it gets hairy, then it's so difficult for a soldier to just like play on the ring and get spammed by your demo. Plays like this could happen, but yeah, they had the demo pick, which is kind of like the golden ticket on Gully last, and they sacked a single soldier into 5 players, so I didn't really know what Ascent are doing right now.
Yeah, uncharacteristic mistakes as Classy does come in for a stab, but Sprite, he actually gets the job with the revolver. He's pistoling down Ams as well. He's so low, ends up trading it, but Classy and Gink go down in the meantime as well. Joe is finally going to go in with this Uber charge ad. Surely this is the round. It's Smear. He's dropped so low, he ends up dying. Thomas is on the point. Sticky's all over the place. This is Kunu alive, and that's the round. Finally, something ends up happening for Ascent, and it's now 1-1. 6.5 minutes left on the clock. Close game now. Anyone's game, actually.
Just a huge play coming out of the flank of Ascent there just to open everything up. And they had been feeding a little bit beforehand, but yeah, a drop from Sprite there, and it's all over for Sauna. So, well, in that round at least, but this mid is going to be absolutely crucial. 6 minutes left. If you get a quick win off a mid here, then it could be absolutely decisive for the map. So it's all to play for now.
Yeah, both solis out of the blue team. They're aggressing really far forwards. Ams finding a huge kill onto Classy and Polygon onto Thomas as well. Gink does clean up Ams, but it's just Gink is stuck in such a weird position now. He has a nice rocket there onto Kunu, but Pappy ends up going down as well. It's Gink, he has another one. What the? He's so low. Doesn't actually get the kill onto Polygon. It's just 2 alive out of Ascent right now. Both scouts are spawning, but Ascent, they managed to take the mid. It's an even Uber charge right now for them, but they're taking second already. Polygon, he jumps dangerously low there to the scout. He ends up beating the big M out of Classy's scattergun there. but Ascent, they're just gonna have to, they're forced to go back into last after this really quick aggression out of Sauna Slayers. Genki's on the spy now. If anyone can make something happen right now, it's him. It's up to him to try and salvage this in a certain way. Holding this for another 5 minutes might prove to be extremely dangerous.
Yeah, I do like the decision from Ging to go spy nice and early in the perch to try and kind of catch him by surprise. He will go in now, he can get a shot on Sprite. Sprite will use! Terrified of dropping again to make himself, you know, kind of the reason for his team getting rickrolled twice in a row, so that was a nice pot by Sprite. But yeah, that's kind of sad for them, honestly, but the spy play worked out so easily. But now there's definitely a chance for Ascent to get back in here.
Yeah, Ascent probably just gonna wait for those spawners here. Polygon, he actually does drop into water here. It's up to him now to delay this as long as possible, because as soon as Pappy's coming up, Polygon's actually just electing to leave again. A little bit perplexing, to be honest. Amzi's on the spy now. They know if there's any time that Ascent maybe get a bit ahead of themselves, it's right now. They are pushing in with a full overcharge at Amz, barely dodging Joe there. All of Ascent now, they're sitting on top besides Joe. He's just sitting in lobby trying to hold this down as he knows that there probably will be a player trying to push in through the lower here. Smooth drops dangerously low. Amzi actually gets a stab onto Joe. He's not going to find anything further. He's just stuck on top right now. Sauna Slayers, they don't really have the players to do that much right now. They have the player ad, but they have a spy behind as well as Scruff. They have 2 players behind. Scruffy's going to try to go for him. Smiz, actually, he's just in through choke. Trying to find some sort of pipe onto C. The scouts, they have to do everything right now. They do find a pick onto Polygon. The Uber's actually coming out. It's just a solo onto Classy here. He does find the kill onto Smear. And actually, Scruffy's ending up going down as well to the bomb from I Gink. Now, Sauna Slayers, they're sitting on the other side of mid. They do have an Uber charge ad, but they only have 3 players up. They don't have a demo man. They cannot hold this middle.
That's a huge feed by Smeary and Scruff to that Uber there. They could have had just a completely free Uber back in there, but they dropped 2 players. I mean, Smear kind of got unlucky to die to, I think, Pappy. To die to Thomas, and Scruff just got caught for absolutely no reason in the choke by Pappy, so that was pretty poor from them. They had a great opportunity to Uber back in, and now they're going to be on their second, coming in through choke, but Caesar's already 6G. They could get forced right now for Gink trying to get onto Sprite. If Gink is behind him, he will kill Scruff. So this is actually super rough for Sauna. They're going to have to leave here, getting absolutely nothing out of their Uber ad, and now it's completely free for Ascent to just come in and push the second. It's 3 picks now.
Yeah, Ams gets so unlucky there with his spy plays. As Genki jumps in onto top already. Actually, it's Pappy, I'm so sorry. Smith's dangerously low. Pappy's just doing so much damage here on his own, just pushing Sauna Slayers back. They know that they can't realistically afford to fight this and lose. Polygon is dead already. Genki is so far forwards onto the Sprite right now. He's in water. He doesn't actually end up going down. He's 40 HP. 3 picks actually out of the Sauna Slayers right now. Out of Ascent, sorry. Smear, he actually trades for the enemy demo. It's just Seeds and Classy, or Thomas, sorry, sitting in choke. They can't really do anything to contest the second. They're just sitting into mid right now. Neither team really willing to go for any sort of fast trade here. Yeah. Both demos down. This is looking maybe possibly. Only 2.5 minutes left. The possibility of a golden cap is becoming more and more likely.
It is indeed. I mean, it was a really weird play by Ascent to just send so many players in before they had even cap point. They go for a trade here, they do have a pick as well, so this could be pretty good. And Pappy is in behind. This is the golden scenario, potentially. Am's going to go by and try and kill Pappy, but they're actually drawing players back. And Sauna probably just going to run away from this. In fact, Gink goes in slightly too early, pulling into an Uber, but they will be getting in for a big door. There's a 5v5 fight right now. This could be anyone's game here.
Am's created galaxies of space there. I'm so sorry, I meant Pappy. Pappy made galaxies of space, but it just wasn't enough. His team didn't aggress probably. Now Joe actually gets caught out there by the combined aggression from all of Sauna Slayers. It's actually Thomas, he falls down as well. This is 3 players down for Ascent in a situation where they can't really afford to lose players. Pappy doesn't even get the forward. He actually does. He's gonna jump into choke now. He has to find something. Canoe's so low, and actually Scruff ends up going down here. But both soldiers out of Ascent, they're dead. And now 3 kills onto Ascent again. Polygon, he's so far forward into the river here. He's sitting there. He's jumping into water right now. This is so dangerous. Ubers are popped out, but it's just players on the point. 4 Sauna Slayers. The cap is so dangerously far forward. Kunu does end up going down. Abs is still in onto Seeds. He's not dead yet. Seeds is so low. Smith tries to find out the snipe from the sticky bomb. Tries to pretend he's Ombrack, but he's not. Polygon is dead. 3 up for Sauna Slayers now. Even Ubers. 1 minute left on the clock. Classy sitting on second, actually still relatively alone here. His team not quite with him yet. Scruff's actually trying to fight this. Sauna Slayers, they're trying to fight this. Classy actually goes down. It's just Pappy on top, and the rest of his team isn't with him. He's taking so much damage here from Scruff. They're looking forward to taking all of the space that's just left over from the rest of Ascent not following up. It's just Seeds and Pappy that was so far forwards. No one following them up. Sticks are already on main, however. Am's just jumping through balcony right now. He's so low. Gets dropped down by a nice rocket, but Thomas, he's going down to Kunu. The Classy, he's dead as well. Polygon, he falls. This is just an all-out bloodbath. They're trying. Sauna Slayer's so hard to find this cap before the golden cap, but Happy, he finds the nice rocket onto Ams. Smear goes down as well. It's just Sprite and Scruff left alive. The Ubers are popped out. Seeds doesn't have this yet. Sprite's actually really low, but there's so many members on the point. Scruff actually loses the Uber. Sprite is left trying to preserve his KD there. They do not get it. Golden Cappings.
Golden cap indeed. That was a wonderful monologue from you there. Didn't really want to butt in because it was just so exciting at the end, but yeah, wow. What a crazy last few minutes. We saw it was kind of Ascent almost in choke mode there. You know, they Classy obviously wanted to push out. It would have been a pretty free push out to second, but obviously there's always a risk when you go to second. Classy stood on second for about 10 seconds on his own, willing his team to come in. Papically said, no, there's no point in pushing here. We may as well just hold last. So Classy getting hung out to dry, and Seeds did have a 10-15% disadvantage in that push, so there was a lot of opportunities for Sauna to get in, but in the end Joe made the really nice decision to play under point in that scenario. So obviously point being the main thing that everyone has got a cap and got to focus on Gullywash's last pushes, so really wise from him to know that that would be just the way to delay everything enough for them to hold off, and pretty good defense in the end from Ascent.
Yeah, that was an incredibly tense ending to that game. Sauna Slayers were actually really close to taking that 2-1, this is definitely not what I was expecting before this game started. I mean, on paper, Ascent just seemed to be so far superior, but one must not forget the Ascent curse that does exist. Mela, the guy behind Ascent, he is known for his ability to be incredible at picking out the teams that he wants to sponsor so they can get second place in their respective leagues. And Ascent in Europe this season, they're going to try to look and sort of break this curse, but right now, they're going to have to perform better than they were doing so far. A lot of the time, they just didn't really seem to be on the same page, the aggression coming out. Yes, it wasn't really there at the beginning, but towards the end, it did come out more sort of typical Ascent style. But it was just too little, too late, it seems, and just too scrappy.
I mean, they got back into it slowly but surely, but I do feel like, yeah, I mean, you mentioned scrappiness. I mean, the whole game was honestly really scrappy. Like, both teams losing players in scenarios they really, really shouldn't have, having very messy trades and this kind of thing. It was just a lot of, you know, we make mistakes, you make mistakes, and whoever makes more loses the point, basically. So yeah, not really clean TF2 from either side. Probably 1-1 just about reflects how it went. Obviously, it was a huge play from Classy to get the drop onto Sprite right there in the kind of towards the end of the game, so that kind of brought them back into it. But I mean, the mid fights have not been particularly strong from Ascent, which is not really something I would have expected, because generally their soldier aggression is pretty nice. But this Sauna team, they're kind of known, at least by me, for having some pretty nice like set plays on mids and coordinated mids. But if you're not really ready to counter them, then they can do, you know, a lot of damage to you, and evidently that was happening.
Yeah, we should probably take a look at the logs while we still have the chance. Actually, I haven't even found them myself yet. Trying desperately to sort of find them as quickly as possible here. But definitely a slower game, actually, coming out of both sides there. Was, yeah. Looking at the damage stats, we actually do see Pappy with a big fat 300 DPM. Top damaging the server. But the most air shots actually going out to Gink, the most important stats of them all. He finds more kills than Pappy as well. But yeah, just very low game, like, very low stat game overall because of the fact that it only being a 1-1. Not really that much to talk about, honestly.
One thing definitely to remark on is Siege not dying a single time. He did have that one pop that I mentioned that was not so good. But yeah, Siege played pretty well, as he generally tends to. But I mean, Joe didn't have a bad game, not at all. But I do think there were a few scenarios where he looked a little bit lost, you know, where I think he could have realised slightly earlier that the trade was bad, that kind of thing. I think on their first trade onto their second. Probably Lucas would have been slightly more on the ball, obviously having played in the team for a lot longer. But I mean, he did fine. But we are used to seeing, you know, a sort of dominating performance from Lucas on Gullywash, so potentially not living up to that. But I don't think, honestly, he had a lot of opportunity to do very much in this game because it was so scrappy from everyone else that it wasn't really. I mean, 11 for 6, he did fine. You know, he didn't own with his DPM, but you know, it's a solid performance from his debut in Prem, so well done to him, really.
We're going live now with the golden cap of map 1 of ETF2L Season 34, powered by the community. Week 2, actually, between Ascent and the Sauna Slayers. It's 1-1 during the regulation time. As we do see Smith, he's aggressing so far forwards up onto Joe. He's dropped him 2 HP there. His soldier out of
Wow.
Ascent just managed to find everyone, actually. Massive bombs there coming out of Pappy and Gink, but maybe it's just not enough. Heat is still alive, the Sprite does go down. Polygon, he's jumping in trying to find something, but Kunu, he's just sitting on the point. Polygon's so low in that Victor. Seed somehow managing to survive that early aggression there from Smear. Almost a miracle there. Somehow Joe didn't die. Kunu, he's finally going to go down to the soldier aggression there. Or out of Pappy, they're walking forward, just claiming this mid as their own. Polygon, he's stuck in behind somewhere, he just gets picked up by Thomas.
That's kind of a tragic mid there for Sauna, really. I mean, Smith got absolutely excellent damage onto the demo there, but he just pushed him out so he couldn't actually die, and they sort of thought, oh, demo's out, we can take their side, and so they went up super quickly, and it was just at that time that both of the solids just came in and absolutely destroyed them, which is exactly what we don't want to see. As you walk up through that tiny little mini elbow, both solids bombing you, and they just completely destroyed them, so Pappy and Gink basically carrying them in that middle. They will have a full advantage here. Well, actually, it's not even a full advantage at all, it's a tiny ad, because they took so long to cap mid, and they don't even have ad at all, so not sure if they'll know this. I expect they will, as they're already spamming now, but kind of unfortunate they aren't able to capitalize with an ad last push off of that pretty crushing mid.
See, Sprite and his scout were just building so much there. They had so much time to try and rekindle that Uber charge to keep them in the game right now, in the map. Sorry, Kunu, he's on the spy, checking for off classes here. Doesn't actually find anything as he does go onto the sniper here. Looking for a kill onto River, actually. Does try and maybe almost gets a shot there onto Pappy, but Gink now, he's jumping in, trying to get the force out onto Sprite. He drops dangerously low, doesn't get anything. Classy and Pappy also going down. Kunu hitting a massive headshot there onto Pappy, sealing the deal. It's 3 down for Cent now. Sauna Slayers are looking to push mid. Actually, Sprite, Smee, it drops so low there. Actually ends up going down to the rushing out of Thomas. He gets so much damage there onto the second soldier. Am's only 50 HP, but the Uber from Sprite wasn't popped. And now it's just a full Uber charge advantage for Sauna Slayers anyway. Sure, Smir is dead, but he's going to be up in a few seconds. This might just be a push into second anyway.
Yeah, potentially some miscommunication there. I think Ascent thought that Sauna were a lot closer with that. Ams will be taking this Uber, taking the ad push all the way through. Classy's actually caught a choke, should be able to go down here if people actually focus him down, or he's just going to run out for free. Kind of was a missed opportunity there, but Seed's still only on 50% and they're 1 down. So there's actually a free mid take for Sauna if they go quickly here, but Gink is looking to try get some kind of a defense towards choke, but Sauna are actually coming in here now, so it's kind of a risky push for them, but they can make it.
Yeah, Gink actually goes down almost immediately. I think this is probably curtains for the mid-hold out of Ascent, and they're just going to back off. They know they're 90% right now. It's much more safer. It's much safer for them to just hold into second right now. Or hold their second right now. We do see Joe. He's going very far forwards into Victor here, realizing that there was an immediate threat out of Scruff and Polygon, but Scruff, he's already found his way behind. He's taking a fight with Classy right now in lobby, but Ginky's just up and he actually ends up getting the kill onto Gink there. They trade a nice little meat shot out of Scruff. He just manages to last second trade himself into the fight. Gink, we're probably maybe... My intuition says we're getting a sniper right now, but Ams is trying to move forward, looking like he might want to sack in himself. Nothing's happening though, he's not going to move in anyway. Scruffy's on the spy and so is Gink. Yeah, it's they're gonna try to find something here, but it's just it's gonna be probably extremely slow paced. Gink, he's not very far forwards at all. He's sitting quite far back right now, and he's actually just back on the soldier right now.
Was just checking for the spy, so they do know it's a spy. It's actually basically 6v4 here if they do want to try and pick something off of it. But I expect, well, let's see what they do. They're trying to pressure Big Dog right now. Scruff is in the corner and they seem to know about it because Gink obviously checked. Scruff is in the corner, he could go for the play of his life here, but it will require a little bit of fortune if he is to make it successfully. He has gotten in through Big Door, but Smear has also died, so this is definitely a big opportunity for Ascent to try and get in it now.
Pappy found a huge kill there onto Smear, but Scruffy just gets completely caught out when he decloaks, and now Amsy's forced to jump onto Seeds. He's actually dropping really low, he does end up popping. Joe is really low as well. The Uber's popped almost entirely on the low ground here, and Polygon, he manages to stall for long enough. Now his team is out. They do have 2 kills on the side of Ascent, and Amsy's actually stuck in behind here. He's caught between a rock and a hard place again. Pappy hits a nice rocket there onto Ams. Ams is dead as well. They still have 2 kills. They're moving through choke right now, trying to find something here. Sauna Slayers, they're still building on top. They don't have any position. They're giving up the second point for free. They do have an ad, but it's probably not big enough for them to push here.
Yeah, but just going back to that mid play, I mean, Scruff was in kind of the perfect position, but the fact that Gink had already spy checked him in spawn and then switched off to Roma was just completely aware of it. It meant that as soon as he decloaked, Gink knew about it, turned around, 2-rocketed him very easily, and then they could just come and make a nice play into mid. Seeds to get forced to big, but at the same time, not sure who, but somebody's forced spray in his own choke and he had to leave. So a pretty clean take of them dealing with the spy very well in that second. Sort of trying to make some kind of push out last here. I do get Pappy, so this is looking fairly decent for them. But it's still the potential for a backup here if they mess up this push.
Yeah, Ginky's actually dropping up into the high ground now. He finds Scruff, which was the one player on the Sauna Slayer, so it's actually far forward. Kink does get arrowed just before the sticky hits him, and now they find so many kills, including Smear. It's just Sprite and the soldiers alive for Sauna Slayers. Polygon, he's 17 HP. Gink finds the kill onto Polygon. Ams does find the kill onto Gink, but it's just that Uber's pop, and they're actually going to get the spawners in time, but Smear, he's still in spawn, he's stickied out by Joe. Ams, he falls, Scruff is dead as well, all of Ascent are just on the point, Smear's dead as well, Kunu, he finds a single kill onto Tomas, but there it is. At least 2 points secured now on of the side from Ascent. Maybe not the map that we were actually expecting, but yeah, it was definitely a lot closer than we thought. Most of the time, this was a pretty exciting game there.
Yeah, very back and forth. Neither team really giving the other an inch. Pretty nice to see. Like both teams were, trying to make these somewhat risky pushes out. Going for triple sacks on last and expecting them to be able to defend. We see Sauna there committing to a push out when they had 1 pick, and it looked pretty good for them. But just really nice positional play from Ascent, playing on top of the point, and just in the long run, that position just meant that they could win the fight pretty easily. And Sauna kind of just got baited in by that pick and then got absolutely destroyed, and kind of a rough last defense. So, yep, but pretty good map. Pretty closer than we thought, I think, but well played by both sides.
Coming up, next map will be Sunshine. I mean, I guess we can talk a little bit about the logs, even though it is a golden cap. Not really that much to say, honestly. Again, Seeds doesn't die one more time. This time it's a golden cap. Sprite did die once. Not many kills, of course. Not that much damage. Pappy does have a nice 326 DPM, I guess.
Yep, pretty good by Pappy there, I think. We see him top damaging both logs, although obviously on the first log he did have a 0.5 KD. Sorry, I'm gonna drink some water here. You take over, one.
Yeah, okay. Next map is going to be Snakewater. Remember, we are in a week 2 matchup right now. So we're going to be switching into Sunshine in a second here, as yeah, Sunshine again. If there's a single map in the pool that's known as a demo playground, it's probably Sunshine. The demo man could do so much, which is why if Lukash was here, Ascent would, in my opinion, be heavily favored for this next map. It's one of those maps where, even though it has been in the pool for a while, still not figured out to the same extent as a map like Gullywash is. The meta hasn't had as long to sort of stabilize and sort of be figured out as Gullywash has been. Obviously, the soldier bombs on the mid, again, as in pretty much every situation ever in current year TF2, is decided entirely by the soldier bombs. Again, the coordination between Pappy and Gink is just absolutely vital there, I think. But yeah, last week we did see a lot of teams, they do have a lot of trouble actually. Sunshine last is incredibly difficult to push in, and it requires either an extraordinarily coordinated team or an extraordinarily huge ad to be able to push it. For the most part, the easiest way to push Sunshine last is to wipe the enemy team on second, and yeah, I think...
Little birds have informed me that they are going to be switching server here. So
fun.
STV and Mumble for you. And yeah, which I think expect will be a German server to a Dutch server, maybe? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, but apparently every time these teams play each other, they play one map on each server, so I suppose, yeah, the first map was Sauna Slayer's server, so if you can judge by that, then, you know, a tiny little ping advantage will mean that Ascent have to be taking this map, surely.
Yeah, according to Classy in the server chat, Pappy was lagging a little bit. I'm not sure how much. It didn't seem to be that important, actually. He seemed obviously to perform fine during the game, but it can be frustrating. It's definitely, especially if you're trying to main call and you're lagging a lot, it's hard to sort of take away this distraction. And as of course Pappy, he's also very motivating factor for his team. He's the guy who sort of, for the most part, pulls his team out of the ruts that they eventually do find themselves in. They are a group of young players, and especially players like Lukash, they need to be sort of remotivated at times when they do end up falling a little bit behind. And yeah, rejoining the server right now. So looking forward for the second map here.
Yeah, they're wending their way into the server slowly. So we should be starting fairly soon. But So you're thinking? What are you thinking about this map, Wandum? Who's going to take it?
That if Ascent had Lukash, they would absolutely destroy Sauna Slayers on this map because of how powerful the demo is on multiple parts of this map. But because they have Joe, I mean, he's been playing good, but he's not been playing like Lukash has. And I think actually this map will be probably pretty close as well. I think Smear is obviously a very good demo in Europe as well. He's able to do a lot actually. Yeah, you know, this is probably really close. I think the middle's probably in favor of Ascent again, just due to the soldier coordination out of Pappy and Gink. I did watch. This is one of the only maps where I've seen them scrim on, and their coordination seemed really, really solid on this mid. They seem to have it figured out incredibly well. Yeah. What are you expecting? I'm assuming you've played both of these teams already.
I don't think I've played Ascent on Sunshine yet. Actually, no, I have. I played both of these teams on Sunshine, and well, they're both pretty good. They both have solid mids. And I would say, yeah, I would also say that if they had Lucas, that they would win for sure. I still think Ascent are going to take it. They've really gotten a little bit more hyped after that one. They're ready to, you know, play a little bit more coordinatedly, play a little bit more clean, and yeah, hopefully they can get back into their fairly clinical playstyle that they often have. Obviously, Siege not dying is pretty nice, but in a lot of other ways they were kind of feeding in a lot of scenarios. So if Ascent can just kind of get their mojo back, then they should be able to take this one. I'm going to say it's going to be 3-1 for Ascent.
Yeah, I'm probably in the same sort of ballpark as you. I think I'm going to say 2-1, maybe a 3-2, depending on how this game actually does end up going. It really just depends on how much aggression these teams are willing to bring. Ams is obviously known for being quite an aggressive player, especially on the scout class, but some of the theory behind his aggression does definitely carry over onto his role as the pocket soldier. He is very much in favor for taking very aggressive fights and trades and stuff like this. Ascent known for the same thing as well. I'm expecting, honestly, a lot of fights to happen. A lot more fights than we saw last map, at least.
What's interesting with Ascent, because Am is notorious for being one of the most aggressive main characters that Europe has ever seen. Will just take fights when he really has no right to, and simply because you're not expecting it, he will win them sometimes. And then he's on, pocket soldiers, he'll be trying to go in a lot, but Kunu is, on the other hand, a little bit more of a conservative player, likes to not take too many risks, I think. So it's interesting how those dynamics will, pull them forward sometimes with AMS and sometimes pull them back with Kunu. So yeah, so we are heading to this first mid here, Wandum.
Yeah, we're going like the second map of a whole thing that I'm not going to say for a fourth time, because I've already said it twice. I'm not going to say it a third time. ETF2L, week 2. Both demos are rolling out. Garbage actually volunteering to go into Flower here. He finds an early sticky here onto Smear. Smear's actually a bit lower. So do you see Pappy's bombing in very aggressively onto Smear. Does find Sprite immediately. Actually, that's Gink. both the soldiers and Polygon, they're going in so far. They do find so many kills and so much space for the team. And even though Sprite and Smear go down the beginning of the mid, it's just Gink stuck behind at 13 HP with Classy. Actually, he's going to try to fight both soldiers at the same time. Actually, just Ams and Scruff here. Does find a lot of damage. Ams is so low here. He does find the kill. It's just Gink versus Scruff right now. Gink finds a massive rocket there onto Scruff. Can he hit the second? No. Scruff is just going to back off into Cafe here. He knows he can just take this. And he's going to sit in Cafe. He's going to maybe try to go for some sort of a sack pick here. Nobody's climbed mid yet. They're both trying to regroup here. Scruffy has to find a pick early on. They can just call the position out of the enemy. But he's going to take another rocket from Gink as we are going into the second mid fight technically of the game already. Scruff ends up going down almost immediately. And now it's just Ascent and moving forward. They're claiming this middle. Gink is actually so far forward. Hits a nice rocket onto Smear. Doesn't actually end up hitting a follow-up air shot.
Yeah.
Ascent, they take mid. And actually 30% Uber for Seeds here. They might actually push this depending on their information and knowledge of the enemy team and their situation. They're moving into Valley right now. Eames, you better talk or I'm gonna faint.
Well, yeah, something of a marathon mid there, but they do get it just about with Scruff kind of using that 1v1 with Gink at the end. You know, he kind of fed by getting the pack in Cafe when he could have just maybe left, and Smear will get completely dogged in the air here. Gonna get it destroyed actually. So that's pretty nice by Ascent. They head back into mid to heal up for a second, but they can maybe make something happen out of this demo pick. As in fact, it's one of them trying to make something happen, but Ams gets destroyed and dropped by Spice. This is terrible for them. Seeds does not need to use here at all. They can just walk back in with a full advantage here. So this is kind of one of the problems of leading an Uber with a soldier going first, is that you can just get destroyed by a demo man. And yeah, Sprite popping, kind of a tragedy pop there, popping the instant that Ams died, and getting absolutely nothing out of their Uber. So an aggressive play by Sauna, and it's getting kind of completely punished, and they're going to Ascent going to take second here. Scruff is now behind. He's going to leave the 1v1 to Classy. Probably he will, in fact, dying to the winger there, and it's still a huge advantage here for Ascent going into last.
Seeds is still not popped, but Polygon hits a huge rocket there onto Thomas. Massive stuff there. Ams is still in. Yeah, he's going to end up dying. Seeds doesn't pop, but it's only a 30% advantage. They don't really have the players to go in, especially with Gink already in onto last right now. He's getting a lot of space, but Scruffy's on the sniper now. He's going to try and find the pick onto Seeds or something else as they do go in. Gink is skip jumping in, but he's so low already. Actually just ends up going down for the splash rocket out of Polygon there. Classy goes in as well. He tries to find a pick, but it's 2 down now for Ascent. Polygon so far forward here, on to second. Very low. Ams is sacking in as well. Why are they sacking so many players? They do get the force. It's a full Uber charge advantage now for Sprite. And they've sacked like 10 people to get this. Yeah. It's just, I don't know what the hell that was.
Well, we saw a lot of space made there by Polygon coming behind, dragged 2 players back, and then Ams just kind of got in. He had to jump past the demo only, and he did not get airpiped, so they got a nice force onto Seeds. Just kind of, so they sacked 2 basically, so they definitely had room to sack Sauna. Some players in, and that's what they did. They're going to be pushing through dungeon here actually, but Pappy is actually holding close. Can get some good damage onto Kuni, but he's going to have to lead. Gink comes in for the 4th. And it's actually nice pop by Sprite, I guess. I think he maybe could have milked it if he was going to be very brave. But they will take second here, but Ams has gone down to a trap, so this is actually terrible for them. Smear's going to die as well, overextended, and now it's a full ad after that kind of calamitous last push. They opted to go for the unorthodox dungeon push, and it really did not work at all.
Seeds didn't die there as they pushed in. It's just a small sentry that actually can despawn immediately, and Scruff just goes down instantly. The Uber's onto the point, and everyone's just there. First round being taken from Ascent, actually a lot more dominant, a lot quicker than we saw last map. Seeds somehow, he doesn't die there, he just sits back in Cafe all of this time. Gets so much space there for his team, and a full Uber ad as Ascent, they just weren't able to get enough space to actually get onto Seeds and hold back this Uber ad. We are seeing the second mid coming up now for both teams. We do see Garbage and Smear, they're playing a little bit more passive actually, out of Smear here. He does go forward. They do end up locking eyes, but Seeds is so high up. Yeah, somehow he hasn't died. King, he finds the kill with the Beggar's Bazooka. He's found 2 kills already. Everyone is dead for Sauna Slayers. King is just turbo pumping Polygon. Does end up taunting Polygon with a big question mark, but he's just alone against the scout who's seen him, and he just dies.
I don't think
What
Gink
was
cares
that?
at all about that taunt. It's going to get question marked by Polygon, but he just absolutely destroyed Sauna in that cafe area. But Seeds drops! Oh my god, huge shot Kunu. No one's watching top right. That's absolutely insane. Probably saving a round there for them, so really nicely done by him. But just going back to the mid fight, we saw Seeds hit a crazy surf to dodge 2 soldiers who bombed him, and Gink on the other hand bombing straight into them in cafe and absolutely owning Sauna as they kind of just grouped up there. So really nicely played by them. 40% advantage now for Sprite after that drop by Seeds, and they're going to be taking second pretty cleanly here. I think both Sully and Scout going down, and actually they're going to be pressuring back in. I don't know why they're so aggro here. It's kind of insane by Thomas, but Ascent finally going to have to leave to mid, and that's a big enough advantage for Sprite to try and get into mid there.
We do actually see Sauna Slayers. They're already in flowers right now. They're pushing extremely early. I'm just taking the high ground immediately. The Pappy, he's just bombing in onto Kunu and Smith. Both are taking so dangerously low. They're not actually in this push, but it doesn't matter. Sprite doesn't have the Uber and he hasn't popped either. So they have to give this up a 3. But they're already 80%. They're gonna have this Uber probably in time for second, unless Sauna Slayers go right now, which they do not seem to be interested in doing. Pappy's dead, but it's probably just not enough to push. The soldier on second on Sunshine really can't actually do that much. He's jumping forwards now. He's going to try to get the force. Doesn't actually find anything there onto Seed. No damage whatsoever.
Yep.
Completely shot out of the sky by both the scouts out of Ascent. Even Uber charge. Gink, he's trying to go for something in flowers here. Doesn't actually find it. It's even Uber's one soldier dead. Genki's trying to move forward. Scruff is actually half HP, but Amzi's on the spy. He spawned. Gink gets piped as he tries to bomb in. Nice shot there by Smith. Happy's dropped dangerously low. He's in choke as he tries to follow up onto the Gink bomb. But yeah, nothing really ending up happening through the soldier trade here.
Yeah, it's a sad zone sack for Gink there. I don't know if it was a pre-fired spam pipe that he jumped into, but anyway, he got completely destroyed. Kunu will die to a trap and choke, and Smear is very weak. He could get caught out. He can't actually jump away, and he will go down to Pappy. So that's kind of an overextension there. Kunu just not tracking that somewhat obvious trap and choke, and that's now actually a pretty good chance for Ascent to get into mid. Ams is on spy, so he has to try and make a play here, but the rest of them just really can't do anything. Ams has been spotted by Gink behind. Nice awareness by him again, and they are actually Uber's traded on mid, but it's a much worse Uber for them. Spike could get caught here if Ascent are quick.
Yeah, Ams gets an extremely unlucky call out. As we do see Scruff actually goes down to the combined might of Happy, Scarbage, and Thomas. They're walking into second here. They still have 2 kills. Gink is dead though. They're not actually looking to push this Polygon. He's taking so much damage. Doesn't actually end up going down. Happy, he's moving into Cafe now. Maybe they're trying to get something, but no, it just seems... Even Ubers, both teams, they're just trying to posture again. This seems kind of like the opposite of last game, but this time it does seem to be Ascent. They're in the lead. They're taking this bit slower. They know they can afford to just sit back. They don't have to go for any crazy play. No off classes, no nothing yet. Nobody's really posturing to be able to push and try to trade or anything. You see Polygon, he's holding into flowers alone right now. He's just going to go back for buff right now, actually.
Interestingly, it is it's a 20% adverse Sprite, but it doesn't really matter at all. But one thing that is not completely stuck is Gink on Black Box and Conch. So that's something that he does. He's been pulling out his black. It's what's it called? Beggar's Bazooka. Now he's in his Black Box. So all the mean pug weapons for Gink, but I mean, once you absolutely nut on people on mid and kind of style on them, because when you pull out an unlock like that and it actually works, it's just like, my brain is so much bigger than yours, you guys suck. That kind of taunting at the end of mid, you saw that as well. But yeah, he's feeling pretty confident with his unlocks now, I would say.
Gink did have a period earlier on this off-season actually on PogChamp where he was called Shadowburn. He's doing his best Shadowburn impression, as White does take a single rocket from Pappy there, bombing in really far forwards. Doesn't end up finding anything as Ams goes in for the counter-sack, doesn't get anything either. Gink finds a kill onto Polygon as well. It's now 2 soldier picks for the side of Ascent. Scruffy's actually in Cafe right now. He's going to try to go for something, but Genki's just spotted him out. He's walking ever so slowly. Scruffy walks into the entirety of Ascent right now. Thomas, he does get picked off, but Smith, he's so low right now. Ubers are actually popped out from Sprite. Now he has a full Uber charge advantage. Gink must be ever so close to this conch pop as well. They're actually rotating over into mid. They might push this from choke. No, they're just going back into the Cafe here.
Well, look how passive Sauna are here, but really, I mean, the reason they've lost a second is that Scruff was just going for a completely pointless flank play, just trying to make you pick up Gink on the flank or something like that, but he should have just playing a blob with a beam, and they could have taken an easy trade with him getting heals, but he tries to go for kind of a big dick play on the flank, and just gets isolated, and they get a bad trade because they have to, help him out. And I know, just kind of weird play from the flank scout there. You don't really need to. You can just play the beam there. That's all you need to do.
All eyes must be on Kunu right now. He's on the sniper, tries to go for a pick, but he actually doesn't get it. Tomasz just takes the scout Uber in onto the sentry. They're clearing sticks off the point right now. They need more pressure out of Sauna Slayers. The heavy does come up. He's doing a lot of damage actually. Not much pressure on the point there. And Ascent, they just have to back this off. Even though they had a full Uber at there, or like a 50%, at least they didn't actually manage to get more pressure on the point early enough. They didn't find any picks, and now they're stuck in a huge Uber disad as Sauna Slayers, they're pushing out of last. Happy, he's just sitting on top here. You can actually get a lot of spam here onto Ams. Ams, he's 50 HP. Happy jumping in right now, somewhat uncharacteristically. I don't really know why you try to go for that. Maybe a kill onto Ams, but he just didn't end up finding it down.
Yeah, it was a kind of an odd play from Pappy there in the end. He was kind of like chatting it out by sitting on the fence, just not giving up the space, but then he just kind of went for a somewhat pointless bomb onto Ams, which didn't manage to get a kill. So another fairly free push. Gink is going to go for another Becca's Bazooka play, going to kill Ams, but it's only really a Roma trade, so it doesn't really matter too much. They will take mid. Classic going to be hiding in the news spot, in fact, if anyone knows what that is. Classy is going to be behind, in fact, going for a play on the Polygon. He gets the frag, he's going to die though, so nothing really too much happening. And it's probably just going to be a reset with 2 players down on both teams.
Yeah, there are the 2 picks for the one pick in favor of the Sauna Slayers, but they're not really looking to push this. Kunu does drop pretty low right now, but yeah, they're just resetting this. No off passes for either team. Pappy's actually so far forward there on the Sprite. Cho is doing so much damage to the cafe. But the Uber's up down, and the Sprite sees he actually drops Cho as well. It's just a solo Uber now onto Tomasz. He's gonna try to find something, salvage this push. He's actually not getting it. Smear does end up going down. Sauna Slayers, they're forced to back off into out of mid here. But so Ascent, they're not really willing to push this in without Pappy or Garbage, as they're just gonna back off again.
Yeah, a bit of indecision there from Ascent. They definitely had a chance to make the push happen. Tomasz wanted to go in, Seeds didn't. They took a bit of spam, they were like, ICBA, and they left. So, I mean, honestly, it was a really nice force from Pappy. Joe should not have been playing so close there, because he got dropped to the Uber, in fact. He should have known that Pappy was going for the play, just backed up. It should have been completely safe. So it was kind of a misplay from them. They could have gotten a lot more out of the Uber if they did not do that. But yeah, we are Sprite again with a tiny advantage, but we're basically back in another little stalemate here with them.
Yeah, Scruffy's moving forwards into choke now. Ams is jumping top. He's trying to maybe find something. Gonna test the soldier on the flank. He's not getting it though. Gink gets arrowed by Seeds there. Chops dangerously low. It's actually Polygon. He jumps in. Just unfortunately jumps into the scout class. Unluckily, Soldier 2019. That's your life. You just jump in, turn a corner. There is a scout. He shoots you. You do nothing. You go to respawn. You cry. Pappy. He's sitting in cafe, spamming Sprite right now. It's down to 100. They're actually moving through choke here. Garbage. He's taking spam from Ams though, and Ams and Smear, they're just locking Ascent out of this choke point here. Back onto second now. Nothing really happening from that. Was a valiant attempt out of the one sort of kill they got, but it's just not enough. As now we do see Uber's up out here, out of Sauna Slayers. Ams goes in with the Uber. They don't actually get anything. Tomasz goes dangerously low, but Ams actually gets cleaned up by Pappy right now. They're not really in anywhere. Seeds actually dies to Smear. Sprite's still alive. He's 70 HP. They're on mid right now. Maybe a repush happens as soon as they maybe regroup and heal up a little bit. This medic going down at this very moment, it's kind of bad for the side of Ascent. They don't have heals right now. Seeds saying, holy shit, I'm cringe in chat.
It's a Shakespearean moment in chat, because that was an absolute tragedy, honestly. Seeds putting holy shit, I'm cringe. Sorry for the swears. But that was just so sad to see from Seeds. He wanted to go in, chase with the Uber, but Tomasz wanted to go choke, I think, and he just ran into them and just died. Got juggled in by Sickies and insta-died. And this is just some very, very sad miscommunication that you really hate to see, and it's almost making me cry here, Wandum.
Yeah, it's a 40% Uber ad for the Sauna Slayers. They're probably going to go for this. This is Ams at the helm of this team, after all. They're going to try to do it better than Ascent did it earlier. They find the sentry gun kill immediately. Polygon actually isn't in at all. Amsy's finally jumping onto the point, but the heavy and the soldiers just do so much work. Picking up absolutely everyone. It's just Scruff and Sprite left alive. Scruff is so low. They're just going back. The soldier bomb there out of Pappy and Gink combined with the damage from the heavy cleans up absolutely everyone from the Sauna Slayers. Disastrous push there for them. And now it's Seeds with a full 100% Uber at Kunu. He's on the sniper trying to salvage this for his team.
That was honestly a sickening last push to see. Both Follies just absolutely destroyed them on point as they tried to play it like super hard, more harder than they should have. In fact, Kunu's going to die and choke now to Pappy actually. We're going to go for a cheeky sniper play. I think he's going to just about survive and encounter with AMS. So going from that terrible play by Seeds into a completely botched last push by Sauna. Now that this game is right back in Ascent's hands, they have almost still a full advantage going into second. They're going to take second probably for free, and they can go into last here as well with Polygon dying and AMS just about living. AMS will die as well to a nice rocket from Gink, so no Solis, 50% advantage. This is really Ascent's time to get another round on the board.
Sauna Slices still have Kunu on Sniper. He's going to try to find some sort of hero pick for this to be worth it. He's still on it somehow. Why isn't he not off this class? It's so difficult to do anything. Gink actually goes down to the Fruitus almost immediately, but Scruffy gets picked off. There's so much cap time to the point. Pappy's just in behind it. He finds a kill onto Polygon. He's on like 7 killing spree. He's found so many kills, but there's just not enough presence yet. Joe, he's moving back in now. The repush. Classic, he's so far forward. He gets so much damage, but Kunu's popped out of Sprite. And Kunu, he finds 2 kills. Smear does go down, but it might just not be enough. Kunu just hits all of the meat in the world. And 3 die for Ascent. It's a push here.
I think Ascent didn't realize how big their advantage was over Sauna. I think they thought they would get Uber as soon as theirs faded, but they didn't actually have it for a good 10 seconds there. And Ascent just kind of, even though they had numbers advantage, they just left for like a few seconds, and they came back in. And by that time, Sprite had gotten his Uber up. So a missed opportunity there from Ascent. They could have really made that work on that huge advantage that they did actually have.
Yeah, now Sauna Slayers, they're pushing into mid here. AMS is already on top. Polygon jumped his enemy's Tetris. And Ascent, they're just giving this up. Both their Solis are still dead. They do actually get forwards here, quite luckily. If Ascent or Sauna Slayers been a little bit more aggressive here, they would have actually not have gotten this forward. But they are coming in this 90% ad. But Polygon hits a massive bomb there onto Seeds. Seeds drops again, completely uncharacteristically. I think he does find the kill onto Smear, but it's a 90% ad now for Sprite. Sauna Slayers is so far back. It's so difficult right now for Ascent to hold this mid. King Pappy, he's sitting on top of Gink, has been spotted out already by AMS. He's actually really far forward. The rest of the team not with him yet. He might actually get picked off here. Doesn't actually manage to go down. Ascent, they're somehow still on mid. Why are they on mid here? Smear is weak, but they might actually just die to the super trade. Scruffy trades with Pappy here. Smear, he's not in. AMS jumps forwards. Yeah, this is so scrappy right now. King does go down along with Polygon. Kills are just being traded left, right, and center. 1 scout and a soldier down for Sauna Slayers. 2 soldiers down for Ascent. Pappy, he's spawning again. He still has forward spawns. They haven't capped this point yet. 50% out of Sprite here. They haven't made use of it yet. They haven't had an opportunity for all of these 1v1s coming in. They're moving in through Cafe right now.
Yeah, I mean, really nice delay there by Ascent really to just like get so much percentage off just, you know, bombing people in, taking trades, this kind of thing. And now they probably will be able to fight this. Seeds is 95, he doesn't want to die again on 99, which I think is what he was at. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, but I'm pretty sure he didn't actually drop. He was on the tragedy percent of Uber once again, having 99%, so that's pretty sad.
The logs will tell that tale.
Pappy going for the sack. He gets a nice rocket onto Sprite. Sprite's actually extremely weak here. But somehow they've lost 3, so I didn't even see what happened there. I think Polygon absolutely destroyed some people in flowers, perhaps. We'll get Force as well, and yeah, really nice. I mean, I have no idea how. Oh, they all died in choke to probably a skybox bomb from Poly, so Poly actually really putting his team on his back right now with some huge plays, and Thomas and Seeds is going to turn tail and run all the way to the last. Thomas just getting the sentry back up, so it's 100% advantage now for Sauna, but obviously last time we saw them completely mess it up. Maybe they'll choose to go a different duel this time, or maybe they'll just execute it slightly differently, but yeah, they need to make a lot more use out of this than the last time they had advantage.
Yeah, they are posturing, looking like they do want to take it through top right again, but actually no, maybe. Smear actually does get the sentry gun before they even push, and now AMS is moving in onto the left side. Gets a quick rocket there onto Gink. The heavy is put it out, but AMS actually dropped dangerously low. He does shoot the stickies on the point. There's a scout on the point already, but he just gets shot down by the combined force. And the combined eye out of Ascent. There's now Polygon, he's dead as well. They just don't find any kills with this Uber. And Scruffy dies as well to this post Uber. And the heavy just does so much work for Ascent.
Well, their genius adaptation was to have Smear not be in the Uber and not be buffed and try and walk in alone on top right. Never really have the opportunity to walk in freely so that he would, you know, be at risk of dying, and so basically they didn't have a demo man in that entire push, so they lost. So I don't really know what that was about, but there you go. Ascent with a nice advantage, but Gully will take out Pappy. Another headshot on someone they will actually be using. So it's not a great Uber from Ascent, and in fact, Classy going down as well means that there's a potential for a backup here from Arms, and they really just have to leave all the way. So really nice mid defense with the headshots from Kunu there.
Smear and Scruff are just walking forwards right now into Flower. So many players. Am's actually with a huge rocket there onto Gink. They're going to catch him out as well. It's a 70% ad hit for Sprite, but Kunu, he's still the sniper. He hits some nice headshots there onto mid. They're gonna take this Uber in through lower this time. They actually almost haven't even popped it yet. They're so far forward to the cap finally going down. It's just Smear on the point right now. Uber's finally popped off it. They do find a pick onto Scruff, but Garbage Eating Joe, he does go down. The heavy is just not enough. It finally gets killed by the Sauna Slayers. Pappy, he's eating pipes as well. Classy's so low, but somehow they're just not dying yet. Ams is stuck behind. He's just getting spammed. Huge rockets there from Gink. Actually wins the 1v1, even though Gink is so low, and actually managed to force out Sauna Slayers. How the hell did they do that?
Well, honestly, Scruff got dropped trying to play point to a nice pipe from Joe, and pretty much there's so many players alive at the end on Ascent who were on such low HP, but it was only Ams and Smear who had to kill them. They didn't really have much ammo, and obviously it's not so easy being an explosive class to just kill those players on low HP, so they just eventually couldn't win out that fight quick enough, even though they had the heals, and just had to leave. So yeah, Scruff should never have been dropped there, or that would have been an instantly one push. Pretty unlucky.
Seems like another Uber charge is going to come from the top right again. Both scouts actually going into the Uber almost immediately. Heavy's still up. The sentry is focused down. They're shooting the sticks on the point, but they're not shooting this Heavy. He's doing so much work. He actually finally does go down, but Garbage, he dies as well. Polygon's dead. Smear's down low. The soldiers on the point along with Tomas. They're doing so much damage. Scruff is so low here. Kunu gets a arrow, but Scruff, he's so low. Actually, he's not dead yet. The Uber's finally popped out from Seeds, and he actually manages to get this. It's just Kunu and Sprite. Sprite is actually full HP.
Why aren't they chasing?
They aren't chasing him.
It was only Sprite alive and they didn't chase. I'm so confused.
Pappy, he's finally going to go in, but Sprite is going to be with friends. He actually does find a rocket, but he's not going to get it. And he's going to have to settle for this pick onto the soldier. It's not even going to be an Uber charge advantage for them. As Sprite, somehow, he just picks the right place to leave. They all chased in the wrong direction. They chose to just walk somewhere completely different.
It's really weird to see. I mean, he could have just run straight into Sprite. It was only him alive. But anyway, I mean, they did have a spawn wave coming in, but they were nowhere near. But anyway, I mean, if someone loses this map, they will really have their heads in their hands, because that is 3 advantage last pushes that they failed, and in the last 2, at least, they've gotten so close. They've gotten so many players down, but they just haven't been able to clinch it in the end. And they're going to be just, yeah, they're going to be mad because they've just so many opportunities. You hate to see it, Wandum. You hate to see it.
Yeah, he's gonna bomb in onto Seeds. It tries to get something, but he only manages to find a solid 50 damage. Kink actually finds a follow-up kill onto Scruff. It's 2 players down now. For the side of Sauna Slayers, they're backing off accordingly. They're just sitting on their Tetris. Smear is gonna get spammed out. They're gonna take the Uber in here. Polygon, he jumps forward, but Tomas, he actually goes down with this Uber. Polygon, or actually Kunu, he finds something, but King with a massive flank onto Smear does find the kill. He's gonna maybe end up going down, but Sprite is dead as well. King, he falls, and now it's so many players up. It's only 2 players alive for the Sauna Slayers. Scruff is trying to go in to find maybe some kind of salvage. He's in now with his fellow soldier. Ams is only 100 HP. He does go down to the sticky bombs, and it's just Kunu left alive. It's 50% ad hit for Seeds. King, he spawns on the Heavy.
Wow, that's no, he's not on Heavy.
Okay,
he's
thank
off. He's
God.
switched off. But yeah, on that mid there. A huge play by Classy, honestly. Came in and killed Kunu somewhere not in the Uber trade, and then came in and chased down Sprite, even though his pocket scout had been dropped, but he just came in and took the Uber, took charge, and got Sprite after that trade, so really, really nicely played by him. And, well, we do have an advantage here. Whether they convert it will completely depend on, you know, what kind of push they do, whether they do it cleanly. But we do see Ams lower in dungeon, in fact. He can probably deny people from getting in here, or bomb from behind under the point, so Ams in a good position to try and be the thorn in the side of Ascent in this push.
Yeah, and they're gonna take the Uber in, but they actually don't really find that many kills. Am's onto Seeds, he does end up going down. Garbage, he's trying to pump out damage here. Scruff has done so much as his Heavy. He actually ends up going down. So many kills have finally coming out. But it's just Smear, he's on the point right now. He's a demo so much. The arrow from Sprite as well finds the follow-up kill. It's just Pappy with 9 HP. He's forced back out here. Very close stuff, but Ascent, they're just not able to find the picks in time. And yeah, I don't
Well, it's pretty unlucky, honestly, that Ams was down there. Well, unlucky, but nice play by him, and kind of unfortunate for Ascent. But really, yeah, Sprite kind of clutching out there with a nice kill, kind of saving his demo from embarrassment, potentially. But yeah, it was another... I mean, we've seen so many advantage last pushes here. It's actually pretty insane. Nobody seems to have it down, you know, exactly what you should be doing. Maybe they should watch some more Freyo Tech demos. But yeah, it's Sunshine Last is apparently unbreakable because we have seen so many ad pushes, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, and there's also only 4.5 minutes left. Pappy actually finds the kill onto Kunu. Gink is on sniper. That's what I was trying to say before Pappy just finds a surprise bomb pick onto Kunu there, who's maybe a bit too far forwards. They're trying to get space for their sniper right now. As he's moving into Cafe, charging up this shot here. He's trying to find something. Actually misses the first shot here. Polygon, he's in right now, trying to find something. But Gink, he's actually not finding any shots. Thomas, he's gonna have to fight this, take the brunt of this aggression here out of the Sauna Slayers. Hams goes in, he finds the pick onto Thomas and the kill onto Gink. The Ubers are popped out of the Sauna Slayers.
Scruff beefing.
Hasn't popped yet.
Wow, huge milk by Seeds there, knowing that his players are healthy enough that he can milk. He may actually eventually get forward, but all of us sort of going to have to come in to try and get this force. Smear will go down, and in fact what looked like a fantastic scenario for Sauna was how many picks they got with that Uber turned into absolute chaos and loss, although Seeds will go down. But anyway, because, I know, they just didn't get forced by Scruff, so that's pretty sad.
Yeah, it's a wipe coming out for the Sauna Slayers. Polygon somehow salvaging that round there. Actually, pretty nice shot there onto Seed. But it is Pappy. He's finally going to give up his 11 kill streak. He's just going to walk into last, not really do anything. Maybe trying to find a kill onto Sprite. Nice rocket there onto Classy. He actually ends up going down. That was a huge rocket there by Ams. Ascent, they might not even be able to hold second here off of these 2 picks that they've just given to Sauna Slayers. Absolutely for free. Sauna Slayers, the R-sticks on the point, they are going to get cleaned off by Kunu. They're going to try to walk into mid here. It is even Ubers. There's a nice 4% ad for Sprite. It's absolutely nothing. Pappy drops so low there from the bomb from Ams. Smear's dead as well. They're taking mid here for free. Ascent just have nothing to do with this. They keep sacking these players, and it's not really working. The aggression from Sauna Slayers. They're actually already in Cafe. They know they have to move in right now if they want to somehow settle this. Maybe even possibly just hopefully bring this to a golden cap. They haven't done it yet though. Hams, he finds...
Play by Gink there.
Smear is dead. So is Gink. Oh, this is so close. Hams is jumping in. He's taking in the Uber now. He doesn't find the air shot, but he does find the kill onto Joe. Please, Eam, save me. I'm running out of breath.
Ubers will be traded here, but it's much better Uber for Seeds. He's coming in super aggressively with Thomas. They chase all the way into mid, but they haven't actually gotten any frags, so Sauna can actually refight this if they just take their time. But in fact, they've got 2 players on the back cap. These 2 both could go down, but they are going to get the point. Potentially really nice play, and Scruff is going to last tip. Gink is not going to be able to find the kill, but Joe is actually up on last. Will he know that Scruff's there? He does. Scruff's going to get some cap time onto point.
Get it though. Oh my god. They find the kill onto Smear as well somehow. Pappy's dead. Scruff's finally dead. It's just one up. It's Kunu. He's in lobby. He's taking the 1v1, but he's just going to run into more players from Ascent. It's a minute and a half left now. Oh my
Chaos,
god.
Wandum. Chaos. I mean, I got carried away with watching the Scruff back cap, and I didn't notice that everybody else on Sauna just kind of wiped there. So I guess that was kind of the same with Sauna. They just expected Scruff to do it all for them, and he did not. And they all tried to block, and they all died. So pretty unfortunate for Sauna, as they will be heading in. Okay, that's GG lag, but that doesn't mean anything. That just means the game is over in 1 minute and 20 seconds, which is what we know anyway. It's all on Sauna to make some kind of push happen here, to, you know, we finally capitalise on the last push that they could have. Ascent actually will be going aggressively with their Uber, and Joe is going to absolutely destroy them with some stockpipe Chad mode. And this is looking really, really difficult for Sauna now. They need to make a lot happen out of this Uber, and they don't even have Smear with them, so it's going to be extremely tough.
All of your eyes right now are onto Sprite and Ams. They're on the crits right now. Ams actually does find the first kill onto Classy. He's beefing the second rockets onto Thomas. If they finally get, can he get the rocket onto Seeds? He's trying to go for something, but Seeds, as he's known, he's just dodging everything. Gink is now in. He's trying to seal the deal. He's going to go for Sprite instead, but Ams is solo as well. Sprite's finally going to go down. There's a soldier in onto Seeds, but Seeds somehow, he's still alive. Everyone's trying to go for him, but he just doesn't die. It's 20 seconds left. GG is called from Sprite. 20 seconds. Nothing possibly to do. It is going to be curtains for this game. As Scout Kunu, he tries to find something, but Seeds is just absolutely undying. Smear's ink show. He's going to get blasted out by everything. Woo!
It's all over.
What a game there!
I mean, it's kind of a frustrating game to cast, I guess, because, you know, obviously so many missed opportunities was lost. That's basically the whole thing. We had, it was a very back and forth game. Both teams opening themselves up to potential rounds lost, but yeah, really, the whole story of it is 3 sizable advantage last pushes for Sauna there, and none of which were converted. So it's really kind of depressing for them, as we'll be only taking 1 point out of this officials that really they could have taken a lot more in.
Yeah, a bit disappointing, actually. I think probably actually for both teams, to be honest. I think, granted, yeah, they haven't been playing as much as maybe they'd like to. They also did obviously have the sub demo man, but still, that was both maps actually incredibly close. Both of them kind of decided by the enemy team's flaws, honestly. It felt like Sauna Slayers could have won it if they just played a little better, but at the end of the day, Ascent just screwed up a little bit less, and therefore they managed to win. Not actually sure if there are any logs for this game.
I have found them. Put them in Mumble for you if you like, but I do see Pappy with some big own. I think on a lot of those last pushes, it was him, as they tried to like overextend for point, really, him coming in from behind and just like absolutely nuking them. So, you know, I mean, last time he had top damage, but he had a lot of damage taken, not a very good KD, but now he has the full package. He's going to rise on TFT metrics after this one, so pretty beast from him. Ams, on the other hand, taking a lot of DPM and dealing not quite so much with it, you know, what he's been doing. So Pappy playing very efficiently this game. Elsewise, you know, Joe with a pretty good game. 2.0 KD, a lot more damage done he's taken. So honestly, the logs don't reflect how many opportunities Sauna had for pushing last, because almost on all of those last pushes, they got terrible logs out of them because they got wiped. But if they had been a little more clinical with those, could have been a very different story, Wandum.
It would have been. I think, honestly, Sauna Slayers can probably, at the end of the day, after a couple days, when they get over the fact that they didn't win, probably walk ahead of them, like walk away from this map feeling pretty proud. I was talking to Ams a couple of days ago, and he's actually really scared that they might just get rolled. Actually performing probably better than we'd expect. This is very promising for the remaining of the season. Excited to see how this is going to end up going, probably in the playoffs, and yeah. Exciting stuff for the future of this season, and maybe a few more seasons to come, hopefully. I do enjoy teams being around for more than one season, as we can see for the side of Ascent.
Exciting stuff also for the upcoming LAN that's happening in January, which my team is not going to, but both of these teams are. We saw Ascent.EU being invited, of course, and Sauna winning the qualifier against the bus crew in 3 maps out of 5. So both teams will be at that event, so if you want to see them live, pay lots of money to go to America, and you can do just that.
Hell yeah, brother. Get some kick owners in chat, boys. Just kidding. I love NA so much. I think it's time to get some interviews going. I don't know if I have the powers to drag people in. Maybe someone else does. I think we can talk to Classy and Pappy, maybe? Hello.
Hi.
Close games.
Yo.
Oh hi, what's up guys? How you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. I think that was close fishing. It was fun to play.
Wandum, you're the lead caster, you go ahead.
Yes. Coming into this game, were you expecting it to be this close? I mean, you're obviously, at this point, you're pinned for the favorites to take the entire thing. Were you expecting this much resistance out of the Sauna Slayers coming into this match?
Yeah, I mean, still got good players on their team. I think they have like a different playstyle to other teams. We've not really been playing the game at all, and we have a sub, so I was honestly probably expecting to drop a map or something. I was pretty proud that we, even though we drew golden cap, like we lost 1 point. It was pretty good to get 5 points from this fixture.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect because we hadn't scrimmed them since like 1.5 months back when their team had just been like made. So,
but yeah, we hadn't like scrimmed really at all. We just played we just have really bad scheduling at the moment, mainly because of me and Lucas, I guess. So it's a bit unfortunate.
Is this something we can expect to see change in the future, or is this just going to be a factor for you this season?
It won't be as bad as it's been, but we probably only play 2 times a week.
Yeah, Lucas just had a surprise field trip with his school, like 2 days before the official, you know?
We literally moved the official because Lucas couldn't play last week to this week, I think. And on like Monday, he just goes, "Oh yeah, I'm not at home. I'm on a field trip with my school." So after we like accommodated the official for him, he just wasn't here. So it's kind of funny.
Very nice job, Lucas.
But Joe did very, very well, I want to say. Joe, like, he's not played Prem before, and I think he's a very good player. So
Yeah.
thank you for playing, Joe.
Shoutouts to Joe. He obviously filling in for Lucas is obviously a very hard thing to do. It's probably almost the biggest ask you can have for a demo man period in Europe to fill in for Lucas, because he does seem to be such a central part of the team. Is it different playing with Joe comparatively compared to when you're playing with Lucas? I know he does seem to talk a lot about you kind of telling him to go everywhere and you being responsible for his huge logs and damage. Is this to a certain extent still true with Joe, or is it different in any way playing with him?
I don't know. I mean, just kind of tell him what to do. He listens. Does it very well. So honestly, he's pretty smart. He plays very different though.
I think Joe is he communicates more, but he's also like Lucas sort of pushes the limit to how much he can overextend a lot. Lucas will kind of always like overextend to get that blast bow damage, but then he'll like sort of hold us and stay alive.
Yeah, somehow live when he doesn't deserve. But yeah, they have different playstyles, but I think Joe's playstyle is still very good and can be played in like a team at top level with that playstyle.
We are actually joined by Kunu as well. So, Kunu,
Hi.
I was talking to Ams a couple of days ago, and he was actually very scared going into this official. Were you expecting this official to be as close as it was? Because according to Ams a few days ago, he wasn't really expecting to really win anything at all. You did put up quite the fight.
Well, I mean, given our last 2 or 3 days of scrim results, that would be a fair way to feel. I think we were all feeling a bit like that, but at the end of the day, we brought out the smart gameplay when it really mattered, and we managed to get a point when a lot of us probably thought we wouldn't actually get any points at all. So.
Yeah, I think definitely a promising start to the season. You're definitely looking at at probably a top 2, top 3 finish this season. What are your goals for this season? You trying to win it? Try to win it all, or just get top 3?
I don't think there's any real positioning goal for this roster right now. The aim for this roster is to live all the way through to I-67. So we're taking it as it comes, and we're just trying to improve day by day. And wherever we finish is wherever we'll finish. I mean, you guys have lasted, 3.5 seasons and 2 lands now? That's pretty good.
Played for 2 seasons. This is our 3rd.
Your 3rd season and your 3rd different sponsor. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
This is the most confusing cast I've ever done. Casting what used to be Ascent versus new Ascent that used to be Feint, with a lot of players on old Ascent that used to be on old Feint. It was great. Very fun.
I didn't actually get it mixed up that much. I thought I would, but
Yeah, same.
because I'm just a natural.
When you're aware of it, it's easy. I don't know. I don't have any more questions. Do you have anything burning?
I've got my one question for Kune, which was obviously kind of okay. Firstly, how did you feel having so many opportunities to push Last on Sunshine and not managing to take advantage of any of them?
Happens.
Okay. And the one question was, what was that one Uber where Smear was not in the Uber on Last? What was that, a team decision, or did that just like happen randomly? Because that was kind of weird to me.
Do you mean the double scout top right?
No, Amazon went in left side, and Smear just sat top right for the whole Uber and did nothing because he couldn't get in.
I don't know. You'd have to ask Amps on that one. I think we had the idea of was it even then? I feel like we might have had
it's another full ad push.
I think it was a full ad one. I think to go in left and try and get Gink, because Gink can be a free kill sometimes.
I know, I think Smear got the gun, so you just felt like you didn't need the demo in the Uber. So you went in the other side, you know. I think Smear spammed it before you pushed.
I think he did, yeah, but that wasn't the idea in the first place.
Oh, okay.
I think we failed enough top right pushes in the last 3 days. We thought, let's try a left one.
All right, thank you. That's
Yeah.
curiosity satisfied.
Yes, I think it's time for some shoutouts. I think we should just go down the list. Kudu, any shoutouts?
Well, shout out to you guys for doing this. Pretty nice. Shout out Wandum for actually trying casting. You're very good at it.
Thank you.
Like, surprisingly good. Don't take offense to that. Yeah, it's just shout out to the team.
Alright, Classy.
Shoutouts to my team. And Copper. Shit.
Payouts.
Pappy, do you have any shoutouts?
Shout out to my team. They are the best. Even Lucas, he's never here. Shouts to Joe, obviously, for working, he's really good. Shouts to Spo and Ascent, Mailer, all of that good stuff, Uberchain. Ascent.GG.
Right. Eames?
Shout out to you, Wandum, for being such a natural casting. Shout out to Arch for being on production, and shout out to my team, and of course, shout out to Copper.
Right. I have, first of all, I have to shout out Tip of the Hats. This weekend, very fun charity event. Everyone in chat should probably know what it is already. If not, Tip of the Hats, charity event. Help some kids. All of the good stuff. It's usually incredibly fun, although the focus has shifted away a bit from TF2, but it's still an incredibly fun event. You should tune in. Consider donating as well. Personal shoutouts, I'd like to shout out Ams for jokingly asking if I was casting or not, and then I responded with, no, I'm not casting. The hell are you talking about? And then he told me I should cast. So now I'm casting. Thank you, Ams. Shoutouts to Eon. I forgot to shout out him last week. Also, shout out to Beta. He just made a really sick frag video, actually. ESEA Legacy. It's a tribute, along with a guy called Nightfowl as well from NA. It's a tribute, you know, to the game we all love. And yeah, it's just all of the big plays, new and old, from all of the ESEA seasons since season 10, you know, and it's a massive part of all of our histories, and it's all of the positives from our North American brethren. And even though there is a lot of drama, myself included, towards the Americans from time to time, it's hard to not respect what they are. I recommend all of you after this game, go give it a watch. It's 18 minutes, and it's worth every minute. I think this has been it. Also, shout out to Adam, our production man, and also shout out to Eames for coming along last minute after Ombrack did say that he was sick. Hope you get better, Ombrack. I think this is it. This has been Wandum, Eames, Adam, ArchRhythm, signing out.
Beautiful.